Hi, Tom. I like how you can make any situation funny, like the time that you showed up to the triathlon in a winter coat and helmet and didn't take it off.
Well, I have a minute to talk about Asher and the things that I like about Asher. Asher, let's just start with with the obvious. You're a guy, and we don't have very many of those in the family, so I appreciate that, and we have to stick together. Also, you're tall, relatively speaking. Again, not many tall people in this family. We have to stick together. I appreciate your intense concentration. Up at Hillman, you can multitask like nobody's business. On the computer, in the kitchen. Yes, BB, sure, I'll make cupcakes with you. Yeah. Kids, let's play a little board game. Dad, okay, I'll do a lap around the lake. I'm right back on the computer. I'm doing everything. You can do it all the time. I appreciate that. And I also appreciate the way you look out. Well, you're a great uncle because you look out after our kids, make sure they're doing okay. For instance, up at Hillman, we were watching the Olympics, and a commercial came on for, what was the commercial for?
Viagra?
What? Yeah, it must have been for Viagra. And you just quickly went and turned the volume down on the commercial so the kids didn't have to hear about Viagra. Because no one wants to hear about or talk about flaccid penises, especially during the Olympics, so I appreciated that.
Okay.
Anyways, I salute you, I appreciate you. Keep it up.
What I like about Holly is that she's the mother of our cousins, and I like to hang out with them. So.
Okay, this is BB's presentation of Beth for the Family Stories Project. So take it away, BB.
All right, I'm going to ask you to move the slides forward when I tell you to move them forward.
Yes, I will.
Very well. Right, this is a very honorable time. This is great. I don't know if we have much time, but this is important. Okay, so the first slide is really my introduction. Who is that Beth Wolf? Really, so many small moments that define a person. And the point of this is the development of a person. So the next slide, please. All right, so here we have Beth as an adorable toddler. I remember Beth maybe 2, 3, or 4 years old. Probably doing Easter egg hunt in Tom and T's backyard in Wilmette. And she's with her cousins, with Adrian and Allison, who are outsmarting her at every turn. They're racing around, they're getting all
I don't think that's me.
It's the best I could do, Beth. And so,
It's Margot.
That's what
That's Margot. Exactly. I was like,
listen, it's my presentation, be quiet. Okay. So to help Beth, the adults would go, oh, look, Beth, there's something here under the tulip. And that sweet little Beth never noticed that her uncles and aunts were stealing the eggs right out of her basket and rehiding them. And when
this
Beth
explains everything.
And when Beth turned 12 that one Easter, she figured out, she said, hey, you guys, stop stealing the eggs from my basket.
Wasn't 12 years old, I was 22.
Okay, next slide. You have to be quiet. This is mine.
Did I finally figure it out? Did I actually say that? Is that a true comment, or did you make that up too?
I'm making us all up, Beth. So just
Oh, I love
next
this.
slide.
It's even better
Next
than my
slide.
real life. Okay.
Okay, so here is Sarah telling Allison about the Easter egg rehiding trick that the aunts and uncles are playing on Beth. But Allison is too concerned about her drooping diaper and her big stomach. So there's Sarah.
God.
Nothing has changed.
All right, next slide.
No, this is good.
And this slide is just a random slide, and the question is from Beth and Sarah. Put your hand up. You'd rather have a cat than a baby Ann that's pretending to be a cat. That's just a bonus slide.
This
All right,
is the best
next one,
presentation
next
for
one.
dating.
All right, Skippy,
Oh.
skinny dipping incident. I kind of went through. You can't mention too much about the incident, but rather let the evidence on the left speak for itself.
Right. Yes.
Next slide.
Is that
All right.
right?
Now, we are entering the time when Beth is coming into this marvelous, risk-taking, sense of adventure person. If you remember the first slide, the 4-year-old, little sweetie that can't find the Easter eggs. Now, we have Beth becoming a citizen of Denmark that has 179 inches of precipitation a year, never mind. But she gets her MBA, University of Essex. She marries Tor. She moves to Denmark. This is no more quiet, timid Beth. Next slide.
No way.
Now,
Oh, look at this.
Beth
I need
renovates,
this. I need this
Beth-
picture.
Beth renovates her summer house on the island of Mons, and the learning curve is still, we might say inching up, but we have to say centimeter up. You got it? All right, next slide.
Hang on. Right, got it.
All right, this slide is
Wait, what's center meeting? What?
centimetering up instead of
Oh.
inching up. Thank you, Allison. At least you got it. Okay. Ski
yeah.
entertainment. This is etched in our memories forever. I have shown the arrow to the
Yeah, I
end
like
of
the,
boat. It's caught on the boat. This is the best slide of the whole thing. All right,
It is.
next
Yes, I
slide.
like the exhibit A arrows.
And this
Oh,
is
here we
showing Beth developing her sophistication. The photo tells most of it, but as you remember, there's a bird that lands one right on her so that the rest of the birds know the one to drop the poop on. That's how it worked out. So here she is, very sophisticated. Next one shows that Beth is a
Aw.
lobster fisherman, but she also lands a Norwegian.
I
Right.
Jeez.
Next slide.
caught a Norwegian. How'd you
Yeah.
guys get?
Yeah, see, and here we have Mom's the one and only Max. This is important because Beth
That's
has
sweet.
done an incredible job raising this fine young man,
Yeah.
keeping her motherly authority with a son who's now a good meter taller. I mean, that's
Yeah.
hard to do. That's hard to
Look
do.
at that kid. Sheesh.
Look at that. Look at
No,
that. Now, last
that
slide.
was sweet.
So I present to you the inimitable, incomparable, remarkable, risk-taking, accomplished Beth Wolf. Dun, dun,
Thank
dun.
you. Thank you, Kate.
There
That
it
was very nice.
is. There it is. I
Very
don't.
good.
I may have done it under 3 minutes, but I didn't even care because
No.
I wanted everything in there.
That's right. That's important details. Thank you.
Yeah.
You stay on your side.
No, I'm not sharing with you. I want my
That
own.
looks exactly.
Oh, that looks
Stand
good.
there.
Still eat it. The hell with you. Don't eat it.
It really looks nice. Dick, no, this really looks nice.
God damn it, if you don't want my pie,
No,
you can all go to hell.
Meanwhile, the lovely Thanksgiving dinner deteriorates at 7:37.
It's not
At
even o'clock.
7:37.
Happy Thanksgiving, you all bastards.
Okay, so this is Adrian, and I'm going to be doing the portion about Joe for the Family Stories Project. And the two things I want to mention about Joe are his humor and his toughness. First, with regard to his humor, when Katie was very little, maybe just 1 year old or whatever, she picked up on the fact that when she was in the group setting with everybody there, that everybody was laughing at the jokes that Joe was telling. And she pointed at Joe and specifically said, "Joe, funny." And so for the first few years, in our family at least, he was known as Funny Joe among Asher and Katie. So always just a wonderful sense of humor that Joe has. One story that I can recall is when we were playing poker and Holly's daughter Nicole had drawn a full house and showed her cards and had won the hand. Joe immediately jumped in with a straight face, of course, and said, "Oh, no, see, that's all wrong. You've got 3 of one and you've got 2 of another. You want to split those up, not combine them." And said it with a completely straight face. And it was hilarious because Nicole, not knowing poker, of course, thought he was right and thought she had lost to 2 pair. The other stories that I want to tell about Joe relates to his toughness, not just his physical toughness. And Joe is, of course, a wonderful athlete, a great snow skier and an excellent water skier, of course, and many other sports. But his mental toughness is the thing that I specifically wanted to mention. Joe, of course, has been through medical school, which is certainly no picnic. And then the first year or 2 after medical school, when you're doing those insane, work 22 hours a day shifts. But he did that in New York City, which is a tough town, but living in an apartment that was probably 45 square feet with a wife and young children. And then thereafter moving to the basement of his in-laws in Rockford, Illinois, the vacation capital of the world where everyone wants to move. And even now, driving from Ann Arbor to Toledo and even Rockford, working the night shift. Joe is an immensely tough person, mentally tough, not just physically tough, but mentally tough. Possibly the toughest guy I know in general, not just in this family. So I think it ought to be recognized that Joe has a fortitude that is unmatched within this family. So that's all I've got about Joe.
Hi Sarah, I haven't met you before, but I really would like to. I'm Genevieve, and one of my hobbies is making saddle puppets.